Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Knicks Daily here. Today we're going to be discussing another potential free agent candidate for the Knicks this summer, and that's going to be veteran center Steven Adams. This actually was reported by The Athletic that the Knicks could honestly look into Adams in terms of bringing him into the roster to have a backup big behind, of course, Cat and Mitchell Robinson. With Mitch's injury history, he's always just one play away from being out for the season or out for a couple of games or a couple of months. So I think this is really a good move for the Knicks because Adams, he's a big physical dude. He's been around for a while, and he's just the type of guy that he doesn't play a lot of minutes, but when he does play, he makes an impact with his ability to set screens and to rebound the basketball. Looking at what Adams did for the Rockets last season, he actually wasn't even a part of the rotation until March-ish, April-ish, and that's just because he was coming off a season-ending injury where he had to get up to speed. But Ime Udoka ended up going to a double big lineup, and it was very effective for Houston. And then in the playoffs, we saw Adams just completely take over that series. He didn't play as much as he would have liked because the Warriors have so much outside shooting. But for the Rockets, they benefited off of Adams out there because he sets screens and he rebounds and he's a high IQ player. And Adams is also a very underrated passer. I covered Adams when he was with the Grizzlies, and I just fell in love with his game. I think he's perfect for the Knicks. I don't think he's going to be cheap because it's not like the Knicks are going to be able to get him here on a very team-friendly contract. If that was the case, he would just stay in Houston. So the Knicks are going to have to pay up. But I'm going to look at him in the sense of he's going to be able to do what Isaiah Hartenstein did for significantly cheaper. Adams, just from a standpoint of 10 minutes a night, he's going to get you 5 or 6 rebounds, 4 points, half an assist. And then if everyone stays healthy, well, you have a double big lineup in Mitch and Cat. And then you have Adams off of the bench in case there's foul trouble, or you just want to go 3 deep in the center rotation and make sure that everyone stays fresh. This is a no-brainer to me. I talked yesterday about Al Horford. A lot of Knicks fans were not willing to do that just because he's 39. Okay, that's cool. I completely understand it. It makes a lot of sense. But Adams is 31 years old, so he's 8 years younger. And I think his best basketball is honestly still ahead of him. He's just an enforcer. There's not going to be such thing as a player taking a dirty hit on a Knicks player driving to the basket, and Adams isn't going to step in and have a word with him. The Knicks need that. They don't have anyone even close to that on the roster. In terms of pending free agents, I mean, we're talking about DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet, Precious Achiuwa, and then, of course, PJ Tucker. So there's a lot of roster spots open. The Knicks are going to gain some flexibility financially. Why not go out there and add in another big in Steven Adams and have 3 to go with, of course, for the upcoming season? It makes too much sense because of Mitchell Robinson's injury history. If Mitch, of course, had been able to stay healthy his whole career, then I would be willing to understand why nobody would want this. I think just given the fact that the Knicks have Mitchell Robinson, who hasn't been able to stay healthy throughout his career, this would be a good time insurance piece. It's sort of like the Al Horford video I made yesterday, but he's 8 years younger. Horford helped the Celtics win a championship. Steven Adams seems that every team he goes to gets better. He goes to the Grizzlies, all of a sudden they're the top in the West. He goes to the Rockets, they're the second seed in the West. And then, of course, late March, April, he was a part of the Rockets rotation in a double big lineup. And in the playoffs, he was even closing some games. Steven Adams is a very, very good big man, and he does exactly what the Knicks need, and that's set screens, roll the basket, catch the ball, dunk it, and then grab the offensive rebound and tip it up and in. I would love a Knicks front court of Mitchell Robinson, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Steven Adams. Precious Achiuwa would certainly be gone if the Knicks did bring in Adams. They're not going to bring back both. But I like this move because now all of a sudden you've got your big set for the season. And then on the wings, we talk about bringing back Landry Shamet, Hakeem Daddier, of course, being a part of the rotation. I'm excited about that, or at least the potential of it. Josh Hart's still going to play that 3 position, of course. You've got OG, you got McHale. I mean, everything just it seems to be in good shape. The guard position, you got Brunson, you got Deuce, you got Tyler Kolek. And then it's going to be a matter of who you want to bring in next to them, a Chris Paul. Do you bring back DeLon Wright? Who really knows? But I think the only thing that the Knicks need right now is just simply another big off of their bench. And they do have Ariel Hukporti, who I like a lot, actually. I mean, I think that's going to be the argument to this entire video is why would the Knicks pay Steven Adams to be their third center when they can just keep Hukporti, who was a second-round pick, who's on a team contract, a team deal, and just run with that. I completely understand that. I just want to make free agent videos talking about players who I've heard connected to the Knicks and players, of course, who I think would be good fits here. I don't think any Knicks fan would disagree that Adams wouldn't fit well in New York. It's just a matter of the money. The Knicks don't really have much of that to work with. They've already got Ariel Hukporti, who I think is going to be a nice piece moving forward. We saw him a little bit in the playoffs. I mean, he just dunked the ball off of a screen. But in the regular season, he had this one play against the Bulls where he just threw himself over a screen and blocked Kobe White. If you guys haven't seen that already, go check it out. I mean, it was an unbelievable block. It was at MSG, and it's a big-time play. I'm excited about Hukporti. But even with Steven Adams, I mean, Hukporti, now all of a sudden, he's developing behind three very top of the tier centers in the NBA. So I think Hukporti would benefit off of Steven Adams even more. And you can never have enough depth as well. Having 4 big men on your roster, there's nothing wrong with that at all. If anything, that's only going to help the Knicks to be able to balance out their minutes. Injuries are going to happen as well. I don't think Mitch, Cat, and Hukporti are all going to stay healthy. Even Hukporti got injured last season. So, I mean, depth goes a long way. I mean, you look at the Pacers, OKC, they've got the most depth in basketball, and here they are in the NBA Finals. Of course, you do need star power on your team. There's no question about that. I think the Knicks could definitely benefit off of a bigger rotation. That's a large reason why they let go of Tibbs. They didn't like the way he handled the playoffs. And although the Knicks did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, you could argue that if it hadn't even been for Tibbs, then they would have won, just because he didn't play the bench until it was too late. And then the first game, they collapsed. I blame the players, honestly. I don't even really blame anyone for that. I mean, yeah, of course I do, because it's inexcusable. But, Aaron Nesmith knocked down, 5 threes in a row, or 4 threes in a row, and the Pacers made 5 in a row. It just was unfortunate. And also, there was a blown goaltend call in overtime. Certainly, that overturned call in OG was preposterous. So maybe we lost. I'm not going to complain too much more. But I just think that Steven Adams would be great in New York, and I'm interested to see the comments. I know a lot of Knicks fans weren't really too thrilled of my Chris Paul Horford video, which is fine given their age. But Steven Adams is 8 years younger. He's coming off a season where he played the fewest of his career, but he still made just as much of an impact as the previous seasons. I would love Steven Adams in New York. I think he'd be a great fit. And even Kelly Iko of the Houston Rockets, who writes for them from The Athletic, said the same thing, that he could see Adams leaving the Rockets to go to the Knicks in the offseason. I personally can see it as well. It's just a matter of, can the Knicks come up with the money? Adams coming off a season where he made $12.6 million. The Knicks certainly do not have that type of money to offer him. Or maybe they can come close to that. But again, I just don't really see it. Mikal has to get extended. Cat is eligible for an extension. Jalen Brunson's on a team-friendly deal, which is great. It's going to help the Knicks for the next couple of seasons. But also, Josh Hart is paid. Mitch is about to get paid. He's on a 1-year deal. He's got 1 year left of his contract. So I don't think the Knicks are just going to throw money at Adams. If it's a 1-year deal, I'd be willing to do that without question.